today at RealtyNXT in Let's Talk Business series, we are meeting someone who is quite well known in Indian real estate, not just nationally but international market as well. His name is a legend, he's an icon, and he is quite well known especially in Mumbai city. Yes, you have guessed it right. It's Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani. Thank you, sir, for joining today on Let's Talk Business series by RealtyNXT.
Pleasure to meet you.
So, sir, before we begin, before I ask you wonderful questions on the real estate front, I want to know how 2022 year has been for you personally and professionally.
Well, as a person, I would say it's been a great year, and we look forward to years like this where you have the COVID behind you, when you have all the issues not really bothering you. The usual roller coaster of economics, of course, continues to harass everybody who's in the world of business. So if you have the Russian-Ukraine war, and if the Reserve Bank governor wants to increase interest rates, those are challenges which are the normal ones which really we look after. Surprising, the story goes that the real estate market actually went up this year by almost 20%.
Yeah.
And if you look at it from that perspective, it's been a fantastic year. Number two, if you also look at housing finance companies, all of them have grown more than 20%. So overall, if you look at through the country, through our companies or the eyes of anybody who's in the real estate business, I think it's been a wonderful year. So no complaints about 2022 calendar year, and looking positively to the next year. Challenges, of course, plenty, in the sense the governor again last week has increased by 25 basis points and still threatens to increase it further, though I don't think it's a good idea to do so. But having said that, we do see positive indications in the marketplace where the demand for real estate continues to grow. So I think it's a very positive year.
And personally, sir?
Personally, I had a small medical incident for my year. So that was a little bit of a problem. But it's restored, so it's been fantastic. Even that way, I'm fine, and had a great year. Did some running in the marathon, so
that's wonderful.
That was nice, and all in all, I think I couldn't have asked for better years.
So the new year 2023 has started, and everyone makes a resolution. I'm not going to ask professional resolution of yours. What is your personal resolution for this year?
Anyway, let me surprise you. I also run a hospital.
Okay.
So last year my resolution was to start transplants. So we started liver and kidney transplants.
Wow.
23 we'll see heart transplant, and maybe next year we'll see lung transplants in our hospital. We're also going to focus this year on diabetes.
Nice.
To eliminate diabetes in India.
Wow.
So that's another target. So that's the medical side. On the education side, I run 14 colleges, 6 schools and a university. Plan to expand that, and I've started a school of real estate 2 years ago, which is doing extremely well. So all this has been extracurricular activities which have been fun to do it.
No, that's wonderful to know, and especially you're saying eliminating diabetes completely. That's a wonderful news.
Yes.
So, sir, tell me, I have read about this in all your interviews that you have said your biggest competition is you. You make sure that your yesterday Niranjan Hiranandani is different from today's Niranjan Hiranandani. And when I say that, I have noticed in every event you go to or any interview you do, you don't repeat yourself. So how do you motivate yourself, and how do you every day come up with new information to add on, to add value of knowledge to any other event you go to?
Well, it's not difficult actually. The secret is I don't worry about the quantum of improvement, but I always improve. Now tell me, can you not improve 1% on anything that you do?
Definitely,
whether you're making a lecture, you're writing an article, or you're making a speech, or you're interacting with people, or making love. Can you not improve your love making by 1%? You can. So I always see to it that if you make an improvement of 1% every single day of your life, at the end of the day you will have 365% improvement. And if you have 40 years of working life, then I've been trying to improve myself every day. I was lecturing to some students the other day, and I was telling them that you have to do 1% improvement. And I asked them, really, I lectured to you 2 years ago. Don't you think my speech is better today than it was 2 years ago? And they all got up and said, yeah, of course it was. So if you really make it a habit to do that, I don't think you cannot improve. The question is, I want to be better than you. That's always a problem, because you may be something else and a different species completely, and you may be much better than me. But if I keep on improving myself, at one day I may overtake you, I may not overtake you, but I only bother about myself. So I neither feel jealous of you, nor do I feel troubled by somebody else who is my competition. I just focus on myself. I look in the mirror and say, Niranjan, are you better today than you were yesterday? And I'm happy if I can do that.
That's great. So there's a quote, sir, that do what you love and rest of the days in your life won't be work for you, right? But how do you balance that? Like, I've seen all entrepreneurs following this quote, but let's be real about the fact we have a family life, we have responsibilities, we have children. So how do you balance that work and your personal life?
Yeah, so it's a very nice question. And the answer again is equally simple. The point is, I don't do anything which I don't love. So if I'm speaking to you, I love to speak and put across points of view, plus to do it. The other day, again, when I was speaking to students, I gave a speech. It was for 45 minutes. And after 20 minutes, I stopped speaking. And I said, I love interacting with people rather than giving monologues. And we started a question-answer session. And we went on for an hour instead of 45 minutes. And I believe you me, the dialogue that I went through rather than just the speech, I enjoyed it thoroughly. And the students did too. So, you kind of get a joy out of what you want to do. And sometimes it looks difficult. But in reality, if you really make a fun out of, look at the buildings we are making here, or we have made over here. Every building we made is a joy. So I don't look at my working life as a working life as distinguished of living life. So people say, I'm working, then you say, I'm resting and I'm enjoying and I'm having a ball. I'm having a ball through the day. So if you're enjoying the whole day that you're working, it's fantastic. You neither get tired nor you're full of energy all the time.
So as you mentioned about students, you must have interacted with them recently. You must have known that there's a new wave of entrepreneurship coming in. Every student or every youngster wants to have their own startup. But to build or embark upon such journey, everyone goes through a certain turmoil. So how do you, what advice would you give to these youngsters not to give up easily? Because it's a tough road, way ahead in terms of starting your own business. And a lot of youngsters are embarking on this.
So an entrepreneur or a startup has to see that he falls down 50 times. And if you are not able to do that, then you can't be an entrepreneur. It's because entrepreneurship is about successes, but it is more about failures. The only thing is that the world sees the successes and not the failures.
True.
So if you look at film actors, for instance, the biggest success in the film industry is Amitabh Bachchan.
Yeah.
But ask him what happened to him 10 years, 12 years ago. And he had failed. He was a financial failure because he had invested into something which didn't work. And he went onto TV simply because he needed wanted to make the money.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine Amitabh Bachchan, wow, the greatest guy in the film industry, and he not being successful, he being failure. And if you really talk to him on a one-to-one, you realize that all these guys who are successful have failed many times. The only difference being that they're willing to fall and they're willing to get up and they're willing to start again and they're willing to live life and then make it. So it doesn't matter how many times you've failed and fall. So anybody who wants to be a startup, who wants to be an entrepreneur, cannot say that I will not fall.
Yeah, true. Agreed. So you have seen Bombay becoming from Bombay to Mumbai, Amchi Mumbai, and you have seen the city from your early youthful age till now. What is about the city you love the most, and what is about the city you have missed that is not there anymore? What is your take on this?
So the first part is that I love Mumbai because I love the people of Mumbai. I think it's a different type of character of people who live in Mumbai and live in the rest of the world. People look up to you not because you are what you are, but what you have done. So people look up to you as a professional, as a person who's delivered goods, who has integrity, who has honesty. In other places, it's about caste and religion and position. Mumbai is not like that. In other places, you got to be a politician or somebody or a bureaucrat in order to make it. In Mumbai, it's not. Any person who can be a pani puri wala can become famous, a pan wala can become famous, and of course Mr. Mukesh Ambani can become famous. So you have the whole range of people from small to big. You have good lawyers, you have good doctors, great lawyers. You have actors, film stars, workers of all kinds, professionals, IT people, people in the media and stuff like that. And you have great people everywhere. And people look up to you no matter what your profession is. And I think that is Mumbai. The people of Mumbai and that part of the whole thing is there. Doesn't exist anywhere in India what you have in Mumbai. So that I love the most. And of course, over a period of years, we have seen the good part of Mumbai, the bad part of Mumbai, and I'm glad to tell you that I have made some part of the good part of Mumbai. So I'm happy to do so. So that's it. And we work towards to see how we can improve Mumbai, both in terms of the physical part of it, the infrastructure part of it, the education, the health. All this I've been a big part of. So I think it's thrilling to see and interact with people at that level and have that fun. I think it's, Amchi Mumbai is the best.
True, I agree. So, sir, I want to know, as a person from your point of view, are you a spiritual person?
It depends on what you mean by spirituality. So I'll give you one definition of spirituality, and that is I'm a trustee of 3 temples. So I am spiritual in that sense of the term. But I'm not ritualistic. So I don't believe that I will spend 20 hours in prayer or things like that. I do believe in God, and I do believe in Krishna. I believe I'm a good follower of his. And also the fact that I believe in honesty, integrity, loving people, respecting people and others. And I think that is religion. And I do believe that your karma will decide your future. So I think I do believe in that. But am I very ritualistic?
No. So, one last I want to know about your personal self. If you have to define yourself, how were you in your early teens and till now? What has been the drastic? Of course, everyone changed around with the time, everyone evolved with the knowledge. But as a person who was like 22-year-old till now, what is that one thing you have kept intact? And of course, how would you define yourself?
So you're talking about 50 years of my career. So
Yeah.
right from 22 to now being 72. I think every 5 to 10 years there's been a lot of difference. The aspirations, I was a first generation businessman. So with 2 lakhs of rupees and investments into textiles and real estate, really didn't see any future, didn't ever think that I would grow to the extent that I have. The 30s was very challenging. I didn't have a minute. I started work at 7 in the morning, finished at 10, 11 at night. Never had any distractions. Never worked on Sundays and everything to bring up the hard part of life. And then the next 10 years, participated in associations, the Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry, the Indian Merchants Chamber, ASSOCHAM. I created the National Housing Policy for India, worked on various projects, brought up my children who got into the world of business in a different way than I do. next few years worked on charitable work as much as I did in my real estate work, in schools, in colleges, in hospitals, on skill development, and I continue to do that. So I think every 10 years of my life really has seen a huge difference. And even now I think it keeps on changing. But it's become more and more beautiful by the decade. And I've learned how to give back to society much more. And in the last 20 years at least, I think I've done a huge amount, according to me, and a great deal of satisfaction in it. I'm growing my business still, but that's an equal part of the life, maybe less, but it's very, very exciting.
So, sir, when you started with the Powai project, I'm sure when you had picturized this particular project, I'm sure you were aware what kind of success rate you will get, or you did not know that, this is kind of success I'm going to get out of this project.
I had a lot of dreams, but really I had no idea the extent of success I would get is what I got. I mean, I didn't even dream that I would get 1% of what I got. So I'm really truly blessed. Not that we didn't put in effort to do much more, but at the time when we started, it was a faraway land. There was no access road. There was a 2-lane road coming to Powai. Very bad accesses, difficult to do. Quarry land, 20 trees in 250 acres of land. We planted more than 4 lakh trees now. Gardens, schools, hospitals, etc. All these grew incrementally over a period of 35 years.
So, as a young person, as all entrepreneurs, or even the youngsters, when they see a legend like you, they always want to know how they came upon such success. So, how would you define you reached to this success, or what is the mantra you follow to get that kind of success? Like, I'm not asking for a shortcut. Of course, every hard work is there, but we as a person who is looking at, outside that, oh, this is Niranjan sir and this is his, huge success rate, or this is his huge journey. But what would you define your mantra for your success?
Well, I always aspired in order to grow. The idea was that if I did real estate, I wanted to make it big. If I wanted to do education, I wanted to do it big. If I wanted to do a hospital, I wanted to do great work. If I want to act as part of policy of the Maharashtra, I worked for Balasaheb Thackeray, I worked on the slum rehabilitation policy. I'm a co-signatory on the policy which was created for Maharashtra. I always thought that I must do something significant in everything that I do. And I think that carries me on till now. Not that I didn't fail. My first business was in textiles. I failed in it. And I had to, move on to real estate. So, I mean, the point is that when you take up so many items, the thing is that even if you fail, they recede behind you. So in reality, some people take up 2 jobs and they may lose 1 or they may lose both. I take 100 jobs. So what happens is, even if 25 succeed or 20 succeed, wow, everybody claps and says, Mr. Hiranandani is very successful. In reality, they don't know what I have not succeeded in. And so I'm constantly trying lots and lots of many things in every field of activity that I do. Some of them, many of them have become super successes in my mind. I mean, people don't even know or understand some of the successes of what we do. For example, in Powai, we made 120 buildings. Not one single building leaks.
Yeah.
It sounds like a very small thing. Believe you me, for the 7,000 apartments of people who live there, it's a fantastic thing that not a single building leaks.
Yeah.
Now, these are the, what should I say, little big contributions that we have done. And I don't even mention it most of the time, it just happens. And all these little things keep on happening in your life and the way you work onto it. And that's what I think makes my life fulfilling.
So if any small project or any other project which doesn't work and does not cater that kind of success. Does it pinch you till now, or it doesn't bother?
I'm human. If you're getting hurt on something, I'm getting more hurt on something. And of course I feel hurt. But I leave the hurt behind me fairly quickly. So if you speak against me, or you hurt me, or don't speak well to me, of course I'm going to feel hurt. I feel very hurt.
Okay.
But then after a little while, I just put it behind me and I look forward and say, next time maybe you'll be better with me. So I don't live life looking at the rear view mirror too much. I look more forward and say, come on now, what is tomorrow with you? And that is more important to me. Or even just now, or today, what can I actually achieve today? What can I do with you today? What can we do together today? Instead of saying, oh, last few years, we didn't do anything successful last year, or that's behind me. I don't even bother about it. For me, it's a dead thing, and I don't even look at that part of it. So it's always looking forward. What is it? And I love that question. If you ask me what I did in 2022, I have to think. What I want to do in 2023, I'm at it.
So, sir, you make it sound very easy. Like for a person like me also, there are moments where you are like, aaj kyun karna hai? Let it go, you know. We have that laid back kind of laziness. Are you saying you don't get lazy at all?
Of course I get lazy. But when I'm getting lazy, I'll read a book. When I get lazy, I'll go to a party. When I get lazy, I'll hear some good music. Or I'm learning the organ just now. So I get into learning that organ. So I have an Apple tutor who comes to teach me when I'm lazy. So what happens is that I have those lazy moments, of course, like anybody else. But then I fill it up with something which
is productive.
I don't know about being productive, but I just fill it up, you know. I mean,
but that's not laziness.
It is, because I'm not doing what I should be doing.
But you're learning something or the other,
so
right?
I kind of substitute it with something else which is there for the moment. So I don't feel, I think doing something, the same thing all the time, sometimes you need a break and disconnect.
True, yeah.
So it's more about not picking up the same exact thing for 24 hours, but maybe breaking it up and then getting back to it. So the excitement remains.
So you have become like a legend when it comes to be real estate or for entrepreneurs everywhere. Who is your role model?
Oh, plenty. I don't have one. So let's take the real estate side. And if I was looking at myself in 1981, I would say Dr. Baker, who made Nariman Point buildings. I went and checked all the Nariman Point buildings. I found that the 4 best buildings there were made by Mr. Baker. So he was my role model. Like, I must see what he does. Then I looked at, the next 10 years, I looked at Mr. Mr. Raheja, who was doing in Bandra, in Khar, in Versova and all that. And I looked up to him and I went and saw his building. I went to Delhi, I saw Mr. K.P. Singh's DLF part of the building. Then I had Mr. Lokhandwala, then after that. So what happens is, every 5 to 10 years, I have a kind of a different person I look up to, who kind of gives me guidance, gives me mentors, and stuff like that, 22 years ago, I met Dada J.P. Vaswani, a spiritual mentor, and I found, a lot to learn from him. So I kind of fell in love with him and took up, what he did, and keep on hearing so many people who do good work. In personal life, there are so many people I look up to. Mr. Ratan Tata, for instance, good friend of mine, and I look up to people. So, is there one person? No. I have plenty of good people I would look up to. Deepak Parekh, for instance, Mr. Uday Kotak, for instance, in the financial world. All these people are wonderful. They have so much to teach you. But let me share with you. I've learned a lot of things from people who have no names. So I would go on sites, and my chief engineer and engineers would teach me a lot of things. And then some junior guy would tell me, sir, that shoring on that side, we don't need to do. If we do this, we will do that. We'll be able to not do shoring and do this particular project. And I calculated that would save me 5 crores of rupees. This has not come from my chief, but it has come from a site engineer. So, you have to be a learner from anybody and everybody. And once you're willing to learn, you should have the humility to learn and not believe that you know it all. And I don't believe I know it all, even today, on any subject that I have, because there's so much more to learn all the time. And now it's easier to learn.
Yeah.
Go to ChatGPT.
True.
Yeah.
So, sir, currently urbanization has become the theme of decade gone by and the theme which is going to come. And we are noticing there's a rise not only happening in Bombay or Mumbai, but we are seeing also the cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata, Delhi becoming the urban housing destination. So post-COVID, what we notice a stark change is that cities like Ahmedabad and Hyderabad are also in a rise. So if you hypothetically ask, if you had to start your career again, in which city you would have built this empire?
Cities are about opportunities. All business is about opportunity. I go where the opportunity is most. Mumbai was one such opportunity, and there are so many cities where the opportunities would be. Delhi metropolitan region, the NCR region, Mumbai region, Pune region, Bangalore region, Chennai region, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad now. So the opportunities keep on growing. We live and die, but business will go on forever. And new opportunities will come, old opportunities will go away. Mumbai still has the leadership in that opportunity. And the other major cities of India also have it. The second tier and third tier cities also have an opportunity. But the scale of opportunity doesn't justify me to leave the metropolitan areas and go to the smaller tier. But if I had to start, I wouldn't mind starting from any of the tier 2 or tier 3 cities. But as you grow, you need to move to the tier. For example, there's so many developers from Bangalore who are now coming to Mumbai. It's not that Bangalore doesn't have opportunities. They're only seeing more opportunities in Mumbai at this point of time. They may go to NCR, they may go to any other place, including Gujarat and places like that. So opportunities will keep on changing every season, every couple of years. My son went to Dubai and built now the second tallest residential tower in the world, the 23 Marina. So Darshan did that. So that was an opportunity that he saw at that point of time, and he was able to create that building, which is very beautiful. So all in all, let's take the case of Reliance. 40 years ago, 45 years ago, Reliance was more about textiles, 99% textiles. What is the percentage of textiles in the armory of Reliance today?
Hardly
less than 1%.
Oh, 1%.
Less than 1%. So the question is, if a company like Reliance, in order to grow, has to keep on changing even its line of business, forget the location, real estate is similar, and any other business is similar. It keeps on changing, opportunities will grow, happen, come, go, and it doesn't matter where you are. You have to seek the opportunities, seek it, and grow it. There's no issues on that.
True. So good, you mentioned about Gift City. I wanted to ask you, in one of your interviews, you had mentioned that that particular project in Gift City you were going to complete in 2 years. But you had to complete in 1 year because you got a call from PMO office that he will come to inauguration, and you finished in 1 year. So what were the challenges during that time you faced to complete that project in 1 year?
Don't ask me, it was a big one. When we got a call from the Prime Minister's office that we had to do the building in 1 year, it was very challenging. First of all, it was my first building in Gujarat. We didn't have any contractors in Mumbai who were actually ready to go there and build it in 1 year. So we had to deal with a local contractor. all the approvals and other aspects of it and the challenges of the local level were unknown to us. There were many. And but we really worked day and night, night and day, and a lot of tensions and all that for us. But we managed to do it. And I also learned a lot that when you're asked to do it by a person called Prime Minister Modi, you just do it, It's pretty lot of fun when you finish it.
Yeah.
But until then, there is a lot of pressure on you. So I think it was a great learning in order to make the impossible possible. And you can see it in him. He's doing it all the time now. And so we did that in 1 year, which was very exciting. In fact, it was 11 months. In 1 month, we did the interiors and built the International Stock Exchange done by the Bombay Stock Exchange there. The fastest stock exchange in the world, fastest. So I think opportunities galore, challenges plenty.
True.
But that's fun.
So recently I visited the gift city and I saw the building of Hiranandani. It looks spectacular from the outside as well from inside. So will we be seeing more projects coming in the gift city?
We haven't fixed on it now, but we're certainly studying it. We study opportunities all the time. And we're certainly putting up a data center, which is coming up. And we hope that we will be excited about another building too. But we haven't taken any other position today, as of just now.
Okay. So अभी residential का कोई मतलब plan नहीं है in terms of the township.
If we take it up, we will probably do a commercial.
Okay.
And we have the goodwill, we have the people who are already our clients, and each and every one of them wants to grow with us. So we'll probably do a commercial if we do it.
Okay. So sir, what is your thought process for Panvel and Alibag? Because I've noticed Hiranandani Group has seen the potential far ahead for the Powai and Thane projects. But what is for your Panvel and Alibag? Where do you think soon the market will mature and the results will keep showing soon?
By the end of this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, you will have the Cross Harbour Bridge, which connects to Panvel.
Yeah.
You will have the elevated road from Chirle to the western, to the freeway, Mumbai-Pune freeway. You will see a railway line, central railway is being extended from Panvel to Karjat, which means covering the whole of Panvel and all the areas that we are working on. You're going to see stupendous, the whole area of Naina, extension of Sidco, and of course the Navi Mumbai airport.
Yeah.
A combination of all that in the next 2 years is going to see prices in Panvel double in the next 2 years. So if you want to, want to beat the market, you have to invest in Panvel with us.
So sir, Panvel and Alibag was the dream projects that you came up, and you made sure that projects would come from Hiranandani there also. Are there any other particular areas where you see such potential no one has seen so far? Because wherever you have touched upon, then of course we have noticed a certain trend, lot of residential buildings, lot of township from other projects starts coming in from other brands. Do you have any other locations such in mind to explore?
Not at this point of time, but I promise you in the next 1 year when you come back, I will tell you some new location or the other. Because we keep our eyes open on the opportunities that we see and seek. So I think we are open to look at future locations. So we study in depth the opportunities which we will get, and then we like to build scale. So, and it's not easy to come to Mumbai city and make scale. So you have to go outside and see what it can be done. So that's exactly what Panvel and Alibag are all about, and we see that as a great future. For the city and for the project also, things like that. So really doing well.
So sir, as a customer and as an industry stakeholder, what can we expect from Hiranandani Group in next 10 years?
10 years is a very long time. You're a young person, so you can think like that. I'm looking at next 2 to 3 to 4 years. I think we will grow in the township space. Panvel is 500 acres. We'll grow in Alibag, we'll grow in Khandala, we'll grow in Pune, we'll grow in Urbanization in Chennai. We have several other redevelopment projects that we are looking at, so we're going to do that. We are looking at a commercial platform. That also is likely to start this year. So next couple of years, too much in real estate. How much we will grow? Fortunately, we are not listed, so we don't have to proclaim or do that. But grow we will. That is certain. As far as the rest of the things are concerned, I have about 45,000 students in my university and colleges. I plan to reach 4,50,000 in 2 years, in whatever way it is, even if it's an online platform. We're working a lot on the skill development side. We're doing it. On the hospital side, we want to work on diabetes as a subject. It's one of the most prevalent. We are the capital of diabetes in the world, India. And I think there's a lot of opportunity to sort out that issue as far as we are concerned. And we plan to launch it, the beta version within 2-3 months, and probably the full extent by July, August this year. So hopefully you will come back to me for an interview on that.
For sure. So, sir, as you mentioned Dubai, I wanted to ask you, that's the first Hiranandani expansion to the international market. When will we see more footprint of the brand in the international market? Are there going to be more projects coming in the international market?
Well, as of now, Darshan, my son, is focusing on data centers, the Yota one, which has already put up 2. Last night, they announced Bangladesh as an opportunity. So we're going to do it GIFT City, the Prime Minister's place. And we're also going to take up various other centers in India. We are also doing a platform with industrial and warehousing with a 50-50 with Blackstone, and also into gas pipelines. So opportunities keep on coming into various lines of businesses, and though Darshan is very fond of real estate, he also finds the other things equally attractive. So he's been focusing on that also, and very successfully. So I would say in the next few years, while we will continue real estate in a very large way, other opportunities are coming to the group, and we don't leave those opportunities behind. Also the fact that I do a lot of work on the not-for-profit area of the schools, colleges and hospitals, skill development, university. All that is not-for-profit as far as I'm concerned or the group is concerned. We'll continue to grow that too. So it's not only about growth in financial growth which we are talking about. The other part of it is equally exciting and fantastic.
True. So, sir, from the typical, sales point of view, like ERP and CMS, what is the upcoming technology that Hiranandani Group is using to make the construction or the customer service faster?
I think technology is a necessary ingredient in everything that we do today. Whether it is communicating to the clients, informing them about the progress of work, being able to monitor the needs of the clients, social media in order to communicate what is happening in the project and the other reflections of it, understanding the needs and demands of the customers, finding out where the pain points are to people who are already your existing customer. And of course the systems in internal management, project management, is all about technology that we need to use. And I think this is continuously going to grow. And your communication level to the youth definitely is through social media, through the OTT platforms, through other systems which are there. So the traditional methods, which was newsprint and others, are there still, but it is really the importance is getting diluted, or it's getting jointly now importance along with the other methods of media. So technology becomes the backbone of everything that we are doing.
So in current, in your own internal group, which technology are you guys implementing to make this construction or make any process faster?
Multiple.
Okay.
It's not just one ERP that we use. There are multiple. For project management, it will be different. For internal, we also build a lot of ERP solutions ourselves. So on the sales side, we have got our own solutions that we have through an internal team. So different things are there. But remember, most of these things become outdated in 2 or 3 years. So irrespective of what you are using in terms of technology, in 2-3 years things will completely change.
Yeah.
And you have to just move on for the purposes of that. So I think it's very exciting. In fact, using new technology is pretty exciting to people like me, and having instant answers, instant communication, communicating, understanding what are the problems for the clients and how we are doing it, what is the stage of the decision making of the client, we know that also. So, he's come once, he's inquired twice, he's spoken to the channel partners, all that is kind of informed to us. How could you have done that before technology was available? So, very exciting.
So what is your take on Metaverse, and do you think in India, if we bring Metaverse, it's going to create a good experience for customer, or are we still have to wait for the Metaverse to come in and for the customer to actually...
Metaverse will be here.
Yeah.
The question is not that. The question is what ultimately makes a customer to buy a product.
Yeah.
So Metaverse will be one tool. It's like a knife. You have a knife, you can cut bread, you can kill somebody. How you use the thing for your use is more important. So it's not about the tool of Metaverse. Metaverse is a fantastic tool, and it will be definitely useful for real estate in order to picturize something which is not there yet. But having said that, will that be the tool? Not necessarily. There will be so many other factors which is really going to decide the customer to do it. But will it be a good tool? Answer is very much yes. So Metaverse will be a great tool for purposes of marketing and sales, but it won't be the only tool. Let me assure you on that.
Do you feel Indian customers are open to such tools that they can
Of course,
purchase?
even today, I mean, the communication to the millennials, we do a lot through social media. And the connectivity, the chat box, all these things are definitely there. The websites, the interactive websites that we do, availability of communication, availability of information about the progress of the project, all that is, readily available. You get it at the tip of thought, and it's available to you. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, so there's a lot of artificial intelligence tools that are coming in, like as you early mentioned about ChatGPT. So I want to understand, it's a far ahead prediction, but do you think in India the real-time transaction between customer will be eliminated because of this artificial intelligence tool coming in? Do you think we'll adapt that? घर बैठे घर खरीद लिया, no need to see because you have seen all that in the 3D or in the virtual experience. Do you think are we going to go in that direction?
रोटी कपड़ा मकान. आपको कितना भी सोशल मीडिया में बताए ये खाना अच्छा है, हम खा के ही स्वाद लेते हैं. कपड़े पहनते हैं. Many of the websites show you how you will look if you wear those clothes. They may help you to take a decision. But when you go, you still want to try out your thing of your clothes before you actually buy it. Makan वैसे ही है. It's not that you will not decide by going through it, but the touch and feel of the place is always going to be there. So I will sell a large number of apartments because of my credibility, brand commitments and others. A lot of people abroad, here and in the country for investments and for their own use. So they believe in you. They trust you. So you can't be an untrustworthy company and think you can sell through the net. If you are a trustworthy company and you have all the other things available to you, they will even do a transaction through the many people are buying from us and many other credible companies through the net, and transactions are also closing. But majority of the people doing that, the answer is no. So maybe this will change and a higher percentage of people will buy through the media, through the net, without actually physically seeing that. But all the people do that. रोटी कपड़ा मकान, ये तीनों में स्वाद तो लेना पड़ता है.
So is there any other new technology or current technology that you are fascinated with and you feel this is the game changer for the real estate?
ChatGPT. Everything new has an opportunity. Don't discount anything which has come. You will get a world at your doorstep, but you have to look for it, you have to find it, and you have to bring that nexus of your own product to the opportunity that comes. A couple of years ago, who thought that TV as a media would sell before TV? Suddenly, TV just mind blown took it. Hoardings, we didn't think hoardings would be so important. It has become important. So many people thought there's never going to be an OTT platform which will work. It works. Social media, all the social media platforms that we talk, they work. And they're interactive, and people are able to relate to it, and they're able to. But a print media, how many people write to a print? Very few. And not that they don't, but very, very few act on it. The OTT platform is so interactive. The social media is hyper interactive, maybe a bit too much, but nevertheless it is so. So new ideas, new thoughts, new methodologies, metaverse, everything is going to be the future of what we do. And education, learning, lifelong learning. I am learning so many things through the net. And I couldn't have imagined that at the age of 72 I would be a learner. And I can log on to so many things and learn.
So, sir, this is the new segment which I have introduced with the Let's Talk Business, and it's going quite famous with everyone. It's called Rapid Round. So, this is the last week segment which I'm going to do with you, and you have to quickly tell me your answers without thinking too much on this. So, your favorite subject which was there in the school?
In school,
Yeah.
mathematics.
Okay. And your guilty pleasure?
Food.
Food. What kind of dishes you love to do?
I eat all food. I'm very fond of food.
And if you had to name 3 favorite dishes?
Sindhi curry and the Sindhi curry chawal is the hottest favorite. And I like different types of soups, the Chinese soup, the Japanese soups. Soups is a great favorite. And of course, Italian, you can't take all the pastas I love to swallow.
And your favorite vacation destination, if you had to name one?
Favorite vacation, I still remember Europe, driving myself across Europe through the Black Forest and areas like that. I think that has been with the children in the seats with me, and it was fun with the whole family and driving around.
One thing in your bucket list right now.
Cure diabetes in India.
Your fitness success rules, if you have to specify 3.
So I'm a gymmer, I do cardio, and I'm a runner.
Your go-to mantra for life.
Enjoy every single day.
We have heard maximum successful people receive a lot of good critic also and worse critic also. But what is the most funny critic you must have received till now, or the worst critic?
The most worst critic was a guy who bought in Powai 10 years ago an apartment. I'm talking about a story 30 years ago, and was very happy with what he got. And after 10 years came and complained to me that now you make better buildings. Why didn't you make better buildings 10 years ago? Because I keep improving the type of buildings that I make. So every 10 years, guys who have bought from me 10 years earlier are quite unhappy. And this happens all the time.
Best advice and worst advice that you have got? Can be from anyone.
Focus. You need to focus on things and really not too many distractions in life to do it, and especially a person like me who has got multifarious activities and multifarious interests tends to get distracted. So focus becomes very, very, very important for me to do on a subject which I need to complete.
And have you ever received worst advice?
I don't believe it's worst or good advice. It's relevant or not relevant. So when people give advice, they give it looking into them into consideration, and it may not apply to you. So I would not consider them as good or bad advice. I would consider it as applicable or not applicable to me.
Okay, favorite current book that you're reading, and why would you recommend it?
I'm reading a book on marriages, what are successful marriages.
Okay, and why would you recommend it?
I recommend it because I think it's a fantastic book, because I'm hearing about so many divorces.
Yeah.
I think it's a damn good book. It's by Haryani, Madhvi Haryani.
So last I will ask is, if you had to give three advices, I know it's three advices in bullet points to young students who are embarking on their career, what those three advices would be?
Do what you love, be committed to what you love, and learn how to do it better every single day of your life. You'll never tire of it because you love it. You have a passion on it, so you'll give it your very best. And if you discipline yourself to focus on it, you cannot not be successful. But if people think about it, as we talked before, that this is work and this is pleasure, then you can't be fantastic success. So all the people who are, I remember a time when I once asked for an appointment from Mr. Mukesh Ambani himself. I'm talking about 15 years ago, maybe 20. I got an appointment at 11:30 p.m. in his office because he was finishing his meeting at 11:15 on a previous meeting. So he said, I'll see you for half an hour at 11:30. And he did, you know. Time just becomes irrelevant today. If you're in love with something or somebody, I mean, would you bother about the clock and watch? No. So same it is with your life and love and work.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming here to List of Business News. It's lovely to have you, and it was wonderful to meet you again.
My pleasure to be with you. Thank you, Kritika.